Hello, you probably find yourself here because you've got an AXS GX mech and for years it's been trouble-free, and now you're finding that for whatever reason, even when you've tried the app and you've maxed it out to 31 this way, it's still a problem. And I think I might have found a solution. Bodge! Okay, a bodge. But 200 miles after the bodge, it's still changing very sweetly. So hopefully, if you're experiencing the same problem, this little bodge might help you out.
In this scenario, the micro adjuster is set to 14. In the middle, probably where your AXS mech was when you first got it. But because the micro adjuster is now set to the central position, I'm unable to get gear 12. The whole system is now one entire gear out of position, and if I try and go into gear 1, it actually jumps off the back of the cassette. So in order to compensate for this, I've moved my micro adjuster all the way to the right hand side to 31, which does allow it to drop into gear 12, but at the detriment of all the other gears in the cassette, which have now become very clunky. Also, being maxed out to 31 gives me little or no further adjustment for any kind of micro shifting that I want to do in the future.
Bodge!
What this diagram is trying to show is how I achieved the fix, the bodge, by pulling the derailleur away from the frame by inserting two small washers. What that then does is trick the derailleur into thinking it's in a different position, which allows for more micro shifting. This was achieved with two 18 by 10 mm washers that just simply sit between the frame and the derailleur. Perfect alignment. The actual fitting process couldn't be simpler. Just grab the cage, insert the lock so you can reduce the tension in the chain, remove the chain from the chain ring. That just gives you a bit of wiggle room as you're removing the derailleur. Then with a 5mm hex key, just whip the derailleur off. Make a note of the position of the little lugs at the back that locate into the drop hanger, because that's what you need to realign when you've put the washers on. Now grab your washers. You may need one, you may need two. I don't recommend more than three because there's not enough thread on that lock nut for more than three. But have a play. Insert one, see if that helps. If not, add another one, see if that helps. It's a bit of trial and error. Then simply nip up the derailleur hanger, making sure the derailleur on the hanger, making sure that you've got the little locator in the right position. Nip it up tight, not too tight. Pop the chain back on and release the tension in the cage. So now, having inserted my two washers, I landed on the micro shift adjustment at 28 after a bit of fiddling. And what that results in is absolutely perfect shifting all the way through the cassette, just as if the AXS rear derailleur was brand new. It's a bodge, but it works. This has been probably 250 miles of gear changes since then, and every single one has been sweet as. I hope this helps. Hi, just thought I'd add a quick addendum just to clarify a few things. One is that, of course, I made sure that the drop hanger was perfectly straight with the drop hanger alignment tool, and that wasn't the problem at all. I think the problem is that the derailleur, the AXS derailleur, is 3 years old. I have a Karoo GPX, which now records the position of the gears in the AXS drivetrain, and at the end of the ride, it gives me a total number of shifts for that ride. And the last ride, which was 30 miles, was 493 shifts. So that works out to be about 13 shifts per mile. The motor unit and the AXS has covered about 7,000 miles. So that's 91,000 shifts in its lifetime. So, it's gone out of alignment. But because there are no serviceable parts, it's almost a throwaway item, and I didn't want to throw away £350 worth of derailleur. So I decided that I would give my bodge a go, and it works. and it really does work. And I just thought I'd share exactly what it is that I used, which is those from B&Q. They're shake-proof washers, and that was completely by accident, but they seem to work really well. The important bits to note are the sizes, because you've obviously got the hole in the middle, which needs to be, if I put it up there, come on camera, focus on it. It needs to be 10 mil in the center, but equally important is the outer diameter, because it's got to fit into the area around the securing nut on the derailleur. So just make sure that you get the right size. I think it was 18 mil as an external diameter as a maximum. Okay. And as I said, try one, try two. I wouldn't go more than two, just because of the amount of thread on that lock nut on the derailleur into the hanger, but it works. Give it a go.